Jenny McCarthy has recently talked about no longer being vegan and what she's currently eating. And I should say right off the bat, I'm not a fan of hers. I watched The Masked Singer actually for a little bit and was so irritated by her presence, I stopped watching it, mostly because of all of the anti-vax rhetoric that she has promoted for years now. And she is one of the celebrities who really helped push that narrative and get more people afraid of vaccines and push the bogus link between vaccines and autism. Just wanted to be clear that I am definitely biased here, but I'm going to try to be as careful as I can and really, listen to what she has to say. I don't hate her or anything. I don't think she's a bad person, but, kids are getting sick, kids are dying, and she has some role to play in that. So it's hard not to be really frustrated. People's intentions, of course, matter. And certainly her intention is not to harm children. She thinks she's helping children. But yeah, it's frustrating. Anyway, this is part of the Maria Menounos. I know her face and her name. I don't know what she's from, but she has a podcast called Heal Squad. Oh boy. This episode is Jenny McCarthy's diet that almost killed her and her #1 post-COVID injury healing tip. Oh my Lord. So is this just an alternative medicine podcast? I don't know. I'm scared.
I am right now healing Hashimoto's, leaky gut, candida, celiac disease, some arthritic stuff. I had no idea how much candida and how much mold toxicity.
I'm going to skip over all of this stuff. It's exactly what you would expect. She believes in a lot of nonsense alt med stuff. I'm just going to skip to the part about veganism.
I went on a low histamine diet. I went on every one of them. And then finally, my functional medicine doctor said to me last year, it's time for you to go full carnivore.
Functional medicine doctor, naturopath doctor to carnivore pipeline. It's real, man. Shocking. The ones recommending a carnivore diet aren't actual doctors. Absolutely shocking.
It just felt very low vibrational, heavy for me. Like I was kind of more eating salmon and bring light things like that. But I'm like, I might as well give it a try. It was like my last resort diet. It has been fucking incredible.
Really?
For me. Again, I stress things as for me.
And you know what? I don't doubt that, because the thing about a carnivore diet is that it is an elimination diet. You are removing most foods from your diet. And if you do have food allergies, food sensitivities, there's a good chance you are removing most, if not all, of those foods by limiting yourself to one food group, especially meat, because meat allergies are not very common. That doesn't mean a carnivore diet is best for her. Again, she does say this is just for her. She's not recommending a carnivore diet for everyone, which I do appreciate. But even still, it does not mean it is a good diet for her. Elimination diets are not supposed to be followed long term. You are supposed to do this with the help of an actual professional, not a functional medicine doctor or whoever she's saying. You're supposed to do this with someone who is well versed in elimination diets and food allergies, and you are supposed to slowly reintroduce foods to see if you can handle them again. Consensus is definitely not, if you have food allergies, even numerous food allergies, just eat meat. That's the best diet for you. No. And look, it could just be placebo, right? She obviously is really into alt med and all of these fringe procedures and diets. It could just be that she wanted a carnivore diet to work. And so, at least in the short term, it's going to work for her. It would not shock me at all if a year from now she's doing a totally different thing. And the same goes for veganism too, to be clear. I don't promote veganism as a health thing. It can be a very, very healthy diet. For me, it's an ethical stance. I believe it's wrong to eat animals and animal byproducts. I believe it's wrong to harm animals just because we want to eat them and the products they make. There definitely are people who go vegan and they say, oh, it fixed all manner of things, even more fantastical things that you go, really? Maybe they're healthier because their vegan diet is healthier, or maybe they had some sort of food allergy, some sort of animal product, and they're no longer eating that animal product, and so they feel better. Maybe they're just eating a lot less, refined carbs, which you can do on basically any diet, right? You don't have to be vegan to eat less sugar. Maybe they lost weight because they're eating less calories. Again, that's not unique to veganism. Or maybe it's just placebo. Maybe they wanted the vegan diet to work, and so they feel like it's working. They feel better.
I tried vegan and I almost died. I literally almost died.
What do you mean?
I became so ill from being a vegan because I can't have carbs and everything's a carb. I'm also like allergic to like soy and everything's like, I was literally dying. I was exhausted, fatigued. I was a mess. And then carnivore, huge energy, but I also did eating for your blood type.
Oh, yeah.
To be clear, there are people with significant food allergies to the point where being vegan, eating a restrictive diet when you have a soy allergy, when you have tree nut allergies, it's going to make it much harder to get a good variety of food and to be healthy and to feel satisfied. Absolutely. But when it's Jenny McCarthy, when we have someone talking about colonics,
I've done cleanses in my life, but I knew I had to go like next level. So I bought myself like a home colonic system where I can do these deep cleanses and really clean out my body. I mean, I've done cleanses where there's like this rope that comes out of you. Again, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's like Mycesis mucus or something like that, but it's like a black tar rope that we all have that just layered upon toxins and food and junk that's about 6 feet long, that's embedded in your intestines. And if you don't do a certain type of cleanse, you're not gonna be able to get it out.
and leaky gut and vaccines being dangerous and all of this nonsense. It's really, and she tried the blood type diet. You know, it's really hard to take someone like that seriously. Like, does she actually have a soy allergy? Does she really? Has she actually been tested? She can't eat carbs. Like, when someone says, I can't eat carbs, no. I would guess she is someone who is searching for this elusive perfect health that doesn't actually exist. And so she's going from one extreme to another, right? And any small problem she has, well, it must be diet related. I need to change up my diet, you know.
This, though, changed my energy, my digestion. I have been a constipated little girl since I was younger. Like, my mom would walk down the enema aisle and I'd just scream and cry. Like, from the time I was young, I'd have to get enemas.
Really?
Yeah, because I just, again, my MTHFR mutation, mine in particular, slowed my methylation process. And we also had a genetic kind of thing in our family of always having that problem of just that our muscle spasms doesn't move. It's kind of like paralyzed, so it doesn't move.
I see what she's saying, but our muscles spasms doesn't move. Oh, Lord, girl, she ain't the brightest bulb in the toolbox. You got to know your limitations. You know, she clearly does not understand a lot when it comes to human health, nutrition, human physiology. So maybe just shut your mouth. You know, maybe don't talk about it. Because even if she says, oh, this is just about me, she's still influencing people. She's still going to encourage at least some people to eat more meat. Great.
All I eat is meat right now. And I'm not going to be on it forever, but I'm going to stay on it while
your
healing
body
my
gets...
gut.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that. But again, I wish she were actually working with a professional on this, but you know.
I had been constipated for a long time and I didn't know what was happening to my body. And there's so many different things happening that it's hard to pick which one it's coming from.
Totally.
So I incorporated more fruit into my diet. Now, I also got diagnosed recently with type 1 diabetes. Thank you, COVID shots. Anyway,
I'm guessing because type 1 diabetes, adult onset type 1 diabetes is often linked to autoimmune disease. And many of these like COVID skeptics or COVID, vaccine haters believe that the vaccine can cause autoimmune disease. Actually, it's COVID. COVID is linked. It might trigger autoimmune disease. Not the vaccine, but COVID itself.
For my carnivore diet, it made sense for me because I'm B positive, and it says the best thing I can eat is beef and liver. So That's
Oh my
why I was like,
God.
okay, this
Yeah.
aligns with what my body is asking me to do. That's
Oh
why
my
it might not
God.
work for everybody.
I thought this was over. I thought we were done with the blood type diet. It's not a thing. There's no evidence for it whatsoever. Stop.
When my mom was diagnosed with the brain cancer, again, I had a wrestler on the show, Diamond Dallas Page. His wife was in the green room, and his wife had been to Mexico for alternative treatments with her breast cancer. It was just the right moment where I was starting to think, what else can I do? We go down to Mexico to pre-research because I'm like, there's gonna be a moment probably in this journey I'm gonna need you guys. And they had all these incredible results with people where it was their last leg. The hospital said, there's nothing else we can do, send them home to die. They'd go here. It was called Baja Medgate. It's still there, Baja Medgate. Jenny is the one who runs it. And they would all of a sudden have a turnaround and they would live and have incredible results.
So they both have personal issues here, right? Jenny McCarthy, and I believe her son was diagnosed with autism. And I think that's what started her whole alt med thing and anti-vax thing. And then Maria Menounos, her mom, and cancer. And this is so common, right? People are afraid and they don't like the outlook for them, right? If it's something like cancer, certain cancers, pretty poor outlook, or they just don't want to do the standard medicine route because who wants to go through chemo? Who wants to take drugs that make you feel terrible? So I'm certainly sympathetic there. But it's hard not to, Lord, when she says she trusts the data.
The Western world is amazing for certain things, and there are other opportunities and possibilities out there. And I will trust the data from regular people who have had success because it's going to be a while before anybody puts money behind that study or money behind this thing to try to prove it to the doctors who are handcuffed by the policies of the hospital.
That's right.
To be able to even give it as an option to you.
Just because some people are telling her the Baja Medgate or whatever cured them of something, whatever they're saying, doesn't mean it's true.
I used to yell at doctors on Larry King when I used to go against them.
I loved you on Larry.
I used to yell at them. They're like, nothing is science-based that you're talking about. I go, anecdotal information is actually science-based information.
Yes, queen.
It's true. So it's like,
yes, queen. You're too old, sweetie. You're too old. I'm too old and you're older than me. You're too old. What she's saying is kind of true, but it's manipulative. I don't think that's her intention. I shouldn't say manipulative. She just doesn't understand what she's talking about. Anecdotes are part of the scientific process, right? You can find tons of case reports in scientific literature. Those are essentially anecdotes. Often it's just one person, right? It's just a report of something that happened to one person. Maybe they ate some supplement and ended up in the hospital with liver damage. It's a good idea to report that in case this is happening elsewhere, in case this is a trend, in case this is actually caused by this supplement. And we've seen this happen time and time again, that these dangerous compounds, we learn they're dangerous because of anecdotes. But you don't just stop there. You don't read one case report and go, oh, well, obviously this thing causes liver damage, or obviously drinking soy milk gives you man boobs. There are case reports showing that, but the actual science does not support it. My point is you don't stop at anecdotes because anecdotes are inherently flawed. They are inherently of low quality because typically you're only dealing with a few people. Nothing is taken into account in terms of like confounding variables, right? Nothing's tested at all. It's not science. It's an aspect of doing good science, a very small initial aspect. I'm going to stop there because I think they're done talking about veganism and diet and everything. And it's just embarrassing to listen to. I can't take any more of it. I know it's boring. It's not very fun, but like listen to doctors, listen to consensus on medicine and nutrition, and 9 times out of 10 that's going to steer you in the right direction. Consensus does not support a carnivore diet long-term or short-term. It's not used typically as an elimination diet. I know I called it that because it technically is one, but that's not, like, doctors don't do that. They don't put their patients on an all-meat diet. It's wholly unnecessary, right? You would start with foods you know or believe the patient is sensitive to. There is no single test to identify food sensitivities, and while celiac disease is managed with a clearly defined diet, other conditions like irritable bowel syndrome and Crohn's can be more challenging to navigate. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics recommends avoiding foods that cause symptoms, keeping a food diary to help identify unknown triggers, and meeting with a registered dietitian. Consensus does not support leaky gut. It does not support colonics just to have because you have mucoid plaque, because you have a buildup of shit inside of you. No. Again, there are absolutely people who have severe allergies that make something like a vegan diet very hard. But I am skeptical that's actually what we're seeing here with Jenny McCarthy. You know, when someone says I can't eat carbs, oh, okay. I don't think I can trust anything you have to say about nutrition. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know. I hope you got something out of it. I would love to know your thoughts, especially for those of you who have listened to like the rest of this. Is it even crazier? I don't know. I can't handle it, guys. I can't do it. Thank you so much to all of my supporters here on YouTube and on Patreon, all of those who give me money and support the channel and keep it going. It's so awesome. I can't believe how big my like Patreon and member community following is, considering like my channel is pretty small. Yeah, it's just awesome. Anyway, I do 2 exclusive videos for tier 2 members and patrons. I do a vlog every month, and I do a controversial video every month. My last one was on Blake Lively. So yeah, you never really know what you're gonna get. It's just kind of whatever I want to talk about. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. New video soon.